We're back with Damon Vickers, Chief Investment Officer, 9 Points Capital Partners, staying with us live out of Seattle, Washington. Damon, you guys are a hedge fund, and what you guys basically do is you try and catch breaks either to the up or downside. Apparently with oil, also with gold, you've done the timing pretty right. Got in just as it started to oil up past 75, gold past 1,000. Mean, you going to sit on those positions then?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this is, I mean, you can think a lot about it, and you can, one day and have all these vacillations psychologically, but, this is the time to, to play ping pong, to, pick up, get involved in model making or something ridiculous. I mean, this is the time where you make money, where the trend develops. And so there's really not a lot to do with it. I mean, oil looks higher, gold looks higher, currencies look weaker, all for the reasons that we talked about before. I mean, you've got huge wage disparities. I don't know how that inevitably resolves itself. It may resolve itself in some type of a global currency crisis. And then if the global currency crisis unfolds, then inevitably you get, I guess, an alignment under a global world government, a new global currency, and a new world order. So we may be moving towards that.
Talk to us a little bit more about this currency crisis you see erupting. What does that assume about what's going to happen to the dollar?
Well, it assumes that the dollar will utterly get destroyed and become virtually worthless. We have a combined, well, I mean, here's what we know. We know that if you can produce something, that this game that we have going on in the United States and on a planetary basis cannot perpetuate itself forever. We've got a $65 trillion negative net worth. We cannot possibly meet with our health care costs and our indulgent society, which we'd have in the United States. We can't put that against the unit labor cost of a China that can produce something at $1 an hour versus $24 an hour with health benefits and all that's built into there. So how does that inevitably resolve itself? Well,
so you're saying the U.S. needs a softer, weaker, more competitive dollar, partly because of this whole wage disparity. But then again, overnight we had the productivity numbers out, 9.5%. I mean, that makes up for a lot, although at that kind of rate, it's probably not sustainable.
Yeah, it's not sustainable. It's a great number, and we love to see people productive. I mean, let's get going. I love it. But how do you create a global marketplace so that everybody benefits, so that the standard of livings are not so great, so that you don't have this mad rush to deplete the world's resources, which is kind of what we have now? What are the initiatives that have to be carried through? And the Western economies, the United States, Europe, Canada, we don't have resources. Neither does a lot of Asia, to be quite frank. So I don't know what they're going to do with all those reserve dollars. But we see that the currencies that have resources, the Brazils, the Canadas, where else? I mean, Australia, that their currencies are doing well. Their stock markets have done the best year to date because they have stuff. They've got resources. They export real things, and the United States exports promises and pretty paper.
All right. Listen, Damon, we got to go. You have yourself a great weekend. Damon Vickers, Chief Investment Officer, 9 Points Capital Partners, live out of Seattle.